In this video, I'm going to review all the civilizations in Civ 4 and look at their unique units and unique buildings. If you're looking for a specific country, check out the description for links. Remember that you can do things to support my channel and get more content. Incan. Okay, Quechua. Quechua is legendary. Quechua is legendary. You can rush with them. You can actually rush with them on deity and beat down the archers. That's amazing. The Quechua rush. This is the most broken unit in the game. Stupid little warrior. And it gets combat 1. So they're like pretty strong. Because it has combat 1 if you build a barracks or it gets enough experience. You can give it melee shock if they build any warriors, but you'll probably just give it City Raider and go on a rampage. That means that you don't have to waste time researching to get Axemen for your rush. That means that you can go on a rush immediately and go straight for pottery. That's so good. Because it means that you're not stuck at like 0% research for the first 20% of the game. This is amazing if you can use it. If you have someone nearby that you can mash their head in with this little Quechua man, that is the greatest thing ever. And now the terrace. What is the difference here? You get culture. That is the difference. You get culture. But that's actually pretty good. That means you don't have to waste time with a monument. And you don't have to wait a really long time with a library. So it saves you the production cost of building that monument. Incan is very good. Very, very good. Basically, if you are starting out, as long as you're not playing the Earth map, if you're just playing a random map, like Pangea or something, or even just continents, play the Incan. That is the best one to try out for deity when you're first starting. This and the Roman. These are the greatest ones. India, great. You're a useless worker, and you can move faster. I don't think that's a big deal. Maybe you don't have to build as many workers, but it doesn't help you in war. That's what's so important. It doesn't help you in war. As opposed to a normal jail, this just adds happiness. You only build jails if you have a problem with anger, because you're at war all the time. Or you have a spy economy. If you don't have those things, if you are just a peaceful research country, then you don't build these things, and I doubt this even justifies building it. India sucks. Sorry. Are you cheaper? You aren't cheaper. Oh boy, and you can't use copper. That's a little rough. But you do get 2 first strikes and drill 1. That means you have 2 to 3 first strike chances. I'm not sure that's even worth it. Well, assuming you have iron, I guess it's better, but like, how much better? That doesn't seem that much better. Shale plant. Replaces a coal plant. Provides power with coal. Just provides power. And production boost. That's pretty good. If you don't have coal, that means you can get power. And it gives you a little production boost as well. That's a pretty good building. It's not the best in the world. It comes kind of late. Sometimes you don't even build them. Like, what if you built the 3 gorge stand? That's just jokes on you. You don't even need to. Would be a lot better if it didn't provide that unhappiness, but whatever. You can't win them all. Okay. Camera. Alright. We can build a ballista elephant. Cost the same. Same technologies. 50% against mounted units. Targets any mounted units first in combat, but only outside of cities. This is very, very niche. I mean, these are great units. Just the War Elephant in general. The War Elephant is a great unit. Although, it is pretty expensive. And, so yeah, it is pretty expensive. And, yeah, I guess it comes at like a little bit of an awkward time. I don't know. Like once your opponent gets longbows, I suppose this makes it possible to beat them. You can still fight an aggressive war with war elephants against longbows, which you can't really do with just swordsmen. Longbows really shut things down. Longbows are really overpowered. This doesn't change that, because if your opponent has longbows, you can't target everything else down. Before in a city. If you have an invading army, I guess you can use these to take out all of their mounted units first. And then maybe it's easier to do the cleanup with something else. But this is too niche. I mean, you even need ivory. Ivory isn't that common. So I'm not too impressed with the ballista elephant. Beret as opposed to an aqueduct, same cost, but you do get +1 food. And this is a pretty early thing, and +1 food is really good. I mean, it's essentially like building a farm for free. You just have to build this building. And I don't normally build aqueducts, but I think I would definitely build this. I think this definitely becomes a really good building to have. Because it gives the +1 food. I don't think it's going to really change, the course of things. Maybe if you were like really using slavery a lot, this could be pretty good, because you could use slavery to finish the production of this, and then you would get a boost to any future slavery, because you'd have extra food. But I don't think it's going to take your country and give it such an advantage that, you go and like win things because of it. It gives you a slight advantage, and these are pretty early. You can take advantage of this, and you're gonna get mathematics on your way to construction. So they have some kind of synergy as well. But not the greatest in the world. Korea. What do we get? Hwacha? Hwacha. Is that how you say that? Hwacha? Versus a catapult. Same cost. Looks like the only difference is gonna be the 50% versus melee units. That's actually not great. It would be really great if it was archer units, but since it's melee units, you're probably not fighting melee units. Unless you're trying to beat back like an enemy horde, in which case, they probably have a horse archer, and you have to fight that. These guys are not going to be fighting melee units. That's unfortunate. That's not very good. CO1 as opposed to a universe cost the same. Oh, you get 35%. That's pretty bad. That's actually, yeah, that's pretty bad. Not every city is going to build a university because it takes a lot of production to build it. You might not be doing a research economy at that point anymore. And then it's only 10%. It's only an extra 10%. That's not very good. And it takes a while to get to this stage of the game. Education. Yeah, it's not impressed with you, Korea. Alright, Melanese. Ugh, a skirmisher. Same cost. What do you get? What do you get? Ooh, an extra first strike chance. That's not gonna really matter. An extra strength. If the enemy still has warriors, okay, you can go and attack with your skirmishers. If they have archers, you're not gonna defeat the archers. Not with these guys. If they have chariots and they're bullying your land, okay, maybe you can take them out with these guys. But that's it. In terms of defense, that's better, you know, it's better than using an archer. Plus 50% city defense, you're still gonna have to build axemen, probably. Right? 50% city defense is gonna give this a total strength of 6. Axeman's gonna have 7.5 against melee units, so you still want an axeman. But maybe you don't need spearmen, or as many spearmen. I mean, these guys, they're well-rounded. Maybe if you're getting bullied in the early game, it helps you get longbows when you can really defend yourself. Maybe you don't need longbows as quickly in that case. And you can research something that helps your economy more, that helps, you know, set you apart. This doesn't seem game breaking or anything. A mint, same cost, which is kind of high. I used to be a really big fan of building forges. I'm not as big a fan anymore. So I don't know how many of these I would really build. Yeah, I'd probably build a bunch, but it only gives plus 10% wealth. The issue is it's not a great synergy. You know, like, it doesn't add a benefit that makes this thing like a lot better at what it already does. The forge is good for building in productive cities. Productive cities don't tend to have a lot of gold that can benefit from a 10% gold boost. And you're not gonna build a mint in a gold city because it's only 10%. And it costs so much. It costs 120 production, and it might not give that many benefits. I mean, maybe if it has a lot of gold, you could do that. But this doesn't seem like it is that much better. The Mayan. Okay, a Hulken. This is replaces spearmen. Ooh, okay. So Normally a spearman only requires copper or iron. I guess you could trade for it, although the AI is pretty stingy about that stuff. But the Hulkin doesn't require copper or iron. It only requires bronze working. But if you have bronze working, you can find copper. So that's annoying because you still have to get bronze working. It doesn't change the fact that you don't have to get bronze working. You know, that would make this really good, is if you didn't have to get bronze working. But you still have to get bronze working, in which case you might have found copper to build these guys anyways. Then it just makes you immune to first strikes. That's it. Like, what unit are you going to face that has first strikes? Yeah. Archers? You're not attacking an enemy city and killing archers with a strength of 4. This isn't very good. Oh, a ball court. So this is the same amount of cost. So this is the same thing as the Audion, but instead of culture, it gives +3 happiness. Instead of, it's like, oh, you didn't think that the Audion was good enough? Well, here's +3 instead. Okay, that's probably good enough that I would build it now. But, again, the best buildings are the ones that add a benefit to a building that you were going to build anyways, like a courthouse, or a barracks, or like a library, or a factory, or a levee. Those were our best buildings that we've seen. I don't like Colosseums. So now I have to build it. That's annoying. I mean, it makes it so that I can justify building it. That's all it does. It just gives me another building that I can sometimes justify building in large cities. That's it. That's all this does. So I'm not impressed with you. Not impressed with the Maya. Mongolia? Ugh. Ugh. Blah. Mongolia. Okay. Keshik. Keshik costs the same. It's a horse archer. Has the same strength as a horse archer. It gets a first strike chance. And is no longer immune to enemy first strikes. Oh, it gets 1 first strike instead of a first strike chance. But how many first strikes does an archer get? It gets a first strike. So, you know, instead of being immune to the units that have a first strike, it just gets 1 to even the score, I guess. Which is immune to, like, why didn't you just keep it being immune to first strikes? And then your only other benefit is ignores terrain movement costs. What, so that you can rush someone in a jungle? Okay. On a faster gameplay, like I play on Marathon. So when you play on Marathon, movement speed isn't as important. You know, you can just march your army over and they will still have the same defending units that they had before. On a faster gameplay, when it takes a long time to march over, you know, maybe you can get these guys quick and, you know, quickly get over to an enemy country and defeat their archers before they get something stronger. But as a marathon player, not like a normal or epic player, I've never been impressed with that. Gur, same issue. You know, stable, it costs way too much. It cost, and like +4 experience. You know, who cares? It cost, so your experience tables are 2, 5, and 10. 2 gives you your first promotion, 5 gives you your second, and 10 gives you your third. What is 4 going to get me? Like, with a stable, I'm in a barracks, I get 5. That gives me my second promotion. You know, it's It's just at 5. It's not close to 10. This doesn't get it close to 10. It gets it to 7. That's not, that doesn't make my unit stronger. I can't even, I can't build this and avoid building a barracks because I don't get that second promotion. It only gets me to 4. This is not good. And then, stables cost a lot. And normally, you just want to get another Keshik. Yeah, I guess it's different on normal. See, the thing is, in marathon games, the buildings, I believe, cost 3 times as much. So a Gur would cost 180 instead of 60. Whereas the units cost only twice as much. So a Keshik would cost 100 instead of 50. So in a normal game, as opposed to a marathon game, maybe this has more application. Because the Gur isn't that much more expensive. You can build it. I don't know, if your Keshiks win some battles, they can get to 10 experience faster. I'm not too impressed. Okay, Native American. So, again, only need bronze working, no copper or iron. So I guess you don't have to bother trying to find copper or iron. But you still need bronze working, and then you might have it anyways. Reduces the strength of an axeman from 5 to 4, but now it's 100% versus melee units. This is rough, because you cannot do an axeman rush. You cannot beat archers anymore, with a strength of 4. And it doesn't get any bonus against an archer. So you're not going to beat an archer. So that means this thing is good at defending. And that's it. It's stronger than an axeman. It has a strength of 8 with the 100% bonus versus 7.5 for melee units. So it's slightly stronger. But, if you're going to invade someone, you're gonna need swordsmen at that point. And if you have swordsmen, they're probably enough anyways. I don't think this is very good. But a totem pole, I guess it's slightly better for defense, especially if you don't have copper or iron. If you don't have copper or iron, then your chances of going to war and beating people are gone. You can't do it. In the early game anyways. Even later, you can't get cannons in that case. And you can't get knights. In the medieval era, maybe you could use trebuchets and I don't know, war elephants, catapults and war elephants. But that's it. So okay, this is another one of the countries where if you have a terrible location, don't count yourself out. You can actually continue to play and see if you can survive. Totem pole. +3 experience for your archery units, which is, you can actually do something with that. So you get a barracks and you get +3. You get this, you get +3. If you get vassalage and theocracy, or maybe not both of those, but a general in one of your cities, you just need, so you get 6 from this and the barracks. If you just get the 4 more, you can get to 10. And then you get really, really, really strong archery units. Maybe it actually makes it possible to do, catapults and longbows. Catapults and longbows for an attack. go and siege a city with your longbows, your super powerful longbows. But you can definitely defend very easily with those longbows because you'll have 3 promotions of protection, city defense. So you know, if you're playing a game and you wanna do like a random AI, or even just anyone, and you don't want to have to quit if you get a bad start, I think Native American is probably the best one for that. You can pull it together. Because you won't get, you know, destroyed for not having all the resources to build units. Because you can just make the ones that you can build pretty good. Ottoman Empire. Okay. Cost of 80, cost of 80. Now this is an actual buff to a musket man. It has relevant bonuses: 25% archery, 25% mounted, 25% melee. It has actual bonuses against the units that it will be fighting. This thing can now fight a knight because it has a bonus against mounted units. It can attack cities because it has a bonus against archery units, and it can defend cities really well because it has a bonus against melee units and mounted units. This is a good unit. It's not a great unit because muskets are such a short time of the game. Even in Marathon, you only have muskets for so long. The timeline from longbows, the timeline for longbows is pretty long. And then you'll get muskets, and then shortly thereafter you will get rifles, and so will your rivals. And you know, then these are gone. So, and is this enough to mount an invasion? No, because like I think that this makes it a usable unit. It doesn't make it a good unit like a knight. A knight is just a good unit. It has a strength of 10, you can assault cities with it. This makes this like a slightly better knight for attacking the cities. That's it. In terms of defense, again, like it's not going to be around for very long. If you're in a pinch at this time period, it gets you out of a pinch. But it's a one trick. It's one trick and then it's gone. Okay, replaces an aqueduct, hammam. Same cost as an aqueduct. All we do is add happiness. Does that even? So like, if I'm not building an aqueduct, I don't think I'm building a hammam because of that. If I have a big city though, I can build my hammam and not have to, like, I'm not gonna build a temple and then an aqueduct. I'll just build my hammam and I'll have both of the bonuses. So this supports building tall cities with large populations. That's not much of a bonus. Again, this isn't gonna like make or break anything. Woohoo! Only one more part remaining. Join us next time.